Well, imagine your vision is totally normal, and then one day you see demonic features everywhere you turn, just like this. That is the reality for Victor Shara. He has an extremely rare yet terrifying disorder called prosopagnosia, or PMO. Sufferers see parts of other people's faces distorted in shape, texture, position, or color. For Shara, that means grotesque grimace, elongated eyes, and deeply etched scars. Also pointy ears. Shara shared his story in a study published yesterday in The Lancet. There are 81 known cases of the disorder. Scientists say people can develop it after a brain injury, tumor, or infection, or after seizures.
All right, folks, I already know that this story sounds crazy, and maybe it will be a little bit too crazy for some. You'll have the brain dead sheeple saying, "This is a conspiracy theory video." So what I would encourage you all to do, if you've paid your cell phone bill lately, take out your cell phone and Google demon face syndrome. Because I want you all to understand that this isn't a conspiracy formed in the mind of CinemaShogun. This is a story that is being widely discussed by every mainstream news outlet out there. Now let's get into it, because this is weird. Apparently, according to what they say, I don't necessarily believe it, but according to what's being reported, there is a new disease, a new syndrome, if you will, that has been discovered and diagnosed. And they're calling it the demon-faced syndrome. Apparently, you can be perfectly healthy, living your life one day, and you wake up the next day, and everyone looks like demons. I kid you not. This is the type of stuff they're talking about. This is what is being reported. Apparently, there's this new disease. It's rare. But the only effects that it really has on you is it causes you to see people as demons. You can wake up and roll over and look at your wife, and now she looks like the devil. Now you probably feel that way on a normal day, but I assure you this is demon face syndrome. But in all honesty, all jokes aside, apparently this new disease, this new syndrome, it affects a portion of the brain that causes people to see other human beings as distorted demons with pointy ears, sharp teeth, wide mouth. And it sounds too crazy for me to believe. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not buying it at all. I think this is them trying to normalize some wild or crazy stuff that may happen in the future. We'll get into that in future videos, maybe even in this one. But let's go ahead and dive in and find out about this disease, shall we? 3 years ago, everything changed for Victor Shara when demon faces appeared everywhere and his life became a horror movie. Victor was 56 years old when he saw a grotesque and disturbing looking man walking through his apartment who turned out to be his roommate. His roommate's mouth was stretched wide. The ears were pointed upwards, the eyes were slanted, and the nostrils were flared. But when he left the house, he noticed that every person he walked past on the street looked the same way. It turns out that Victor, now 59, has a rare condition called, it's going to be hard to pronounce this one, prosopagnosia, or PMO, or better known as demon face syndrome, which has only been recorded in 75 cases and causes the mind to distort people's faces into demons. Experts suspected he developed demon face syndrome years after he hit his head after the door jammed while he tried to exit his truck trailer. But Victor also said it could have been caused by him experiencing possible carbon monoxide poisoning 4 months earlier. Victor initially panicked when he woke up to his roommate walking to the bathroom with a horrific demon face. "I thought, what in the hell did I just see?" Victor said. "It was like something out of a horror movie, like a demon face." When he left his apartment to walk his dog, about 50 miles north of Nashville and Clarksville, every person he saw had a demon face, and then he strongly considered putting himself into a psychiatric ward. "I was really freaking out at that point. I was going to go have myself committed," he said. Victor is now a 59-year-old truck driver and still suffers from seeing demon faces everywhere, although the diagnosis does not extend to pictures or images on TV screens. I want to pause right there. This is a lot to take in, but let me just say this. If you have a condition that's distorting your eyesight and making you see everybody as demons, maybe you shouldn't be a truck driver. The last thing I want to do is be driving 90 miles per hour down the highway alongside an 18-wheeler whose driver sees demons. Can you please keep this fucking guy off the road? Common sense, people. Common freaking sense. But another thing that sticks out to me that's odd. So when he sees humans in person, they look like demons. But if he sees a picture of a person, or when he watches TV or something along those lines, the people look normal. I find that really weird. Now, I know that people will come up with scientific and technicalities and different type of explanations that they really, truly don't even understand themselves. But in my mind, it makes me think, like, is there some type of spiritual aspect to this? Because when you see a human being in flesh and blood in person, they look like a demon. But when you see an image of them on a piece of paper or TV, you don't see them as a demon. So what is it about human beings in their physical form that's causing you to see this? I don't know. It's just a weird question I have, but let's go forward. His ability to see both distorted faces when he looks at a person and normal faces in pictures allowed Victor to give researchers the unique opportunity to create a two-dimensional image of what people with demon face syndrome see daily. Our report is especially interesting because we can be confident that the distortions of his visualizations accurately reflect what he experiences. While the images replicating the demon faces are disturbing, Victor said the reality of people walking and talking with faces like this are much more traumatic than the pictures can convey because of the emotions and the expressions on their faces. PMO can develop from a head injury, epilepsy, migraines, or strokes when the brain's blood supply is blocked, preventing the brain tissue from getting oxygen and nutrients, which causes the brain cells to die. Now, you already know I'm going to be skeptical about this one. So you mean to tell me it's 2024, right? It's 2024. And we're just now finding out about this. We're just now hearing about this. Just as the world goes to shit and everything is crumbling down and we got all of this evil, wicked stuff going on in the world. A lot of religious people, I'm not saying this is my opinion, but a lot of religious people think that we're in the end of days, right? So as all of this crazy stuff is going on in the world, all of a sudden we're supposed to believe that there's a new syndrome, a new disease that they just discovered that causes humans to look at other humans and see demons. I honestly, I'm almost at a loss for words here because I don't understand why people's first reaction is not to be skeptical towards things like this. Where in the hell did y'all come up with this? Where in the hell did this come from all of a sudden? And I don't know if I necessarily believe that there's a new illness that's making me see other people as demons. Right? It's like, I don't know, guys. I have a hard time believing it. Yeah, I believe that you could have some type of problem with your brain. Maybe you hit your head and you start seeing things distorted, right? I fully believe that. Maybe your eyesight gets blurry, something along those lines. But you want me to believe that there's a disease that happens to where, oh, everything else looks normal. You see all of your colors normal. You see all of your shapes normal. Buildings look normal. Your car looks normal. Inanimate objects all look normal. Even the TV and everything looks normal, except for people's faces. And instead of maybe seeing a blurry face or something along those lines, no, you see a demon face. So there's something that can happen to your brain to where everyone looks like a freaking walking, talking devil. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I really, truly do not believe this. I believe that things can happen to your brain and that you can see distorted images, but specifically, you suffer from no other problems. Everything looks normal, but when you look at people, they don't look weird. No, they look like straight devil demons from a horror movie. Sharp teeth, wide mouth, pointy ear, devil demons, right? I'm sorry. That sounds a little too crazy for me to believe. And I believe in a lot of crazy things, y'all. I believe in a lot of possibilities. I don't believe this. I don't know if this is them trying to normalize this. So when we start seeing crazy stuff, they try to act like there's an explanation for it. But I can tell you one thing. If I walk out of this room today and I walk outside to walk my dogs and I start seeing people with demon faces, you're not going to convince me that I came down with a rare disease. No, I'm going to think something else is going on. And I definitely think that something else is going on behind this story. It's just way too odd to me, to not have any other symptoms, to see everything perfectly except for faces that look like demons. It's just too over the top. And I feel like, and because of the times that we're living in with all of this evil and wickedness in the world, this is just too off the wall. But I want to know what you all think. I'm sure you all have opinions. I'm sure some of you all will believe this nonsense. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up, hit that subscribe. While you're down there, if you want to donate to the channel, you could do so via Cash App. But with that being said, I'll talk to you all soon in the next one.